deadly germs are creeping over the earth, killing every human.
So tell me again, what's the name of the organization that you're from?
22 Too Many.
22 Too Many.
And it's the word 20 and then the number 22 and then the word many. It's just a play on words. 22 is too many. Our organization, we're a grassroots veteran organization bringing awareness to veteran suicide. We're in downtown Olympia. We've been going for coming up on 3 years.
How'd you get your start?
It came from the medical market. We had a medical cannabis safe access point here in Washington State. They weren't called dispensaries, they were called safe access points. And veterans started piling into my shop. I had a wall of honor in my shop where if a veteran brought in a picture of him during his time of service, I would frame it and put it on the wall. So when he would come in to get his medicine, he would see himself up on the wall honoring him. So that was cool. That was my favorite part of the shop, actually. But veterans just started piling in, and some in a zombie-like state. And I saw slowly them make the transition from pills to cannabis, a natural remedy. And
so it was getting these guys
special.
off of a lot of pharmaceuticals that have some pretty harsh side effects.
So,
I bet.
listen, a veteran that gets out of the military today, he knows two things: alcohol and pills. Alcohol is tax-free on every base in the world, and pills are free. Go hang out in the VA in American Lake, where they hand out the pills. It's the saddest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
A bunch of war heroes sitting around just waiting for their pills. It's sad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, by all means. I mean, that's obviously something that's right there in your face to get emotional about. What do you see when you?
So let me tell you a little bit more about some of our accomplishments, and we're really proud of it. The first thing when we started having meetings when veterans would come in, we started holding some meetings, and we're like, what's the first thing we can do here in Washington State? And we noticed that cannabis was not on the list of qualifying conditions for medical cannabis use. So technically, a veteran could use cannabis if all he had was PTSD, and he could lose his benefits because of it not being on the list of qualifying conditions. So we went to the Capitol, we wore red armbands, we had buttons, we had signs. Every time we could testify, we did. It was pretty amazing what was going on down there. And we presented a bill, 22 Too Many presented a bill to Senator Hobbs, who is also a veteran. And he ran with it. It came out of the Senate without one conflicting no vote. That was the same year Colorado voted no to PTSD. So the atmosphere was not good for us. And not one single no vote, and it was attached to the new law, and they added TBI, and we as 22 Too Many weren't fighting for TBI.
What's TBI?
Traumatic brain injury.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's other than the NFL, military and NFL are the biggest.
From all the hard hits, I'll bet. Concussion.
Absolutely.
Firing weapons with no hearing protection, getting bombed in a freaking Humvee.
Getting blown up, yeah.
Getting blown up by a roadside, sure.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So, where our headquarters is downtown. If a veteran walks in the door, we've had 3 homeless veterans come in the past week. They go up on our whiteboard. We call them whiteboard veterans. And whatever they come to us with, I don't care if they need a sandwich or if they need help with their DD-214, they need help with benefits. We'll never turn away a veteran. So they came to us. One of them hadn't eaten all day. First thing we did, gave him some money, and it's out of our karma jar. Whenever people come in, they throw money in our karma jar, and those people came in and they fed a veteran that day.
So they're paying it forward to the next.
Exactly.
That's excellent.
It's so awesome. Our whole existence down there is all on raising donations. We're a 501c3, and that's the only way that we stay downtown. That's our home. That's a beacon of hope. If a veteran finds his way to the door of that place, he's going to be okay.
So if there's people that see this, for example, and they want to help you do what you do and help support your deal, where can they go to do that?
22 Too Many. I think it's a dash or a period, olympia.org, and it brings you right to our website.
Okay. Do you have a Facebook page or anything like that?
We sure do. We have Facebook, Instagram. I think that's it right now. Everything that we do on our calendar, we make an event and post it on out to the Facebook world. You know, that's where we let everybody know about our events.
That's awesome.
You want to show them what it looks like so
Yeah.
they can see it.
22 too many.
Yep. And so
Very cool.
that's not all we do. You know, every year I go to DC to fight for veteran access to this medicine.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's not fair. I'm a veteran, just like a veteran in Texas or Kentucky. I'm no more special than that guy. Why can't he use cannabis to help him with his problems, just like I can?
Sure.
If a veteran in one state can use it, you know, we're all equal. We all should be able to use it, and that's the fight that we're in right now. And every year I go to DC with ASA. They fly me out there. They give me an amazing platform to push that agenda. To, you know, come. We got to end cannabis prohibition at the rate of 22 a day. It's nuts. We just can't keep going.
So draw the connection for me, because there's probably going to be a few people that are listening to this, and they may not actually see the connection between vets committing suicide and trying to get post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury or whatever on the docket for legal use of medical marijuana. Where's the connection between that and the suicide rate that we're talking about here?
So we believe that the suicide rate is coming from what they're offering at the VA. You know, a lot of veterans drink because that's all that they were allowed to do legally while they were serving, right? And pills, and we believe that that's what's killing us. The VA will tell you, you know, there's some good VAs and there's some bad ones. So I'm not saying that all the VA is bad. My doctor at the VA is amazing. My psych doctor is amazing. She still pushes pills on me every once in a while when she sees I'm not doing well, and I no thank you. You know, I'll stick to my cannabis. And so, not all VAs are bad, but there are some bad ones out there. You know, the veteran, 2 months ago, drove to the VA and lit himself on fire in the parking lot. Who
Lit
does
himself
that?
on. Tibetan monks.
Exactly.
That's like the only other
Right.
people that do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I mean, what kind of a dark place have you put this veteran in to where he wants to light himself on fire, man?
Right, and he's reenacting
That's
a Rage
crazy.
Against the Machine cover. That's insane.
Crazy. And that's a failed system.
Yeah.
And so they'll tell you that it's the veterans that are secluded and don't ever get to the VA. So that could be part of it. I'm not saying it's not, but they have a huge responsibility. And I think the reason we don't see it lead every news cycle is because that's our government admitting a huge fault. You know, we're past. We've lost more to suicide than all of Vietnam. That's crazy. Why isn't nobody talking about that? That is nuts.
So you see a direct correlation between the type of pills and stuff like that people are taking and the side effects that those things cause makes that feeling of worthlessness and the things that people go through mentally that makes them want to take their own life. You see that as a direct result of the types of medication that they're being issued, and marijuana being a substitute for those types of medications that cause those things. Can you name any? Can you name any at all off the top of your head of what types of medications by name would marijuana be good for and taking place of to reduce the overall desire to kill yourself?
I have sitting next to my bed a bottle of Percocet that was given to me by my doctor.
Okay.
I was not doing well. I was like, all right, I'll try it. I took it, but it helps me. It helps me in this way. Every day I see it, and I have my pistol behind my bed. I look at my pistol. I look at my Prozac, and every day that I don't need either one of those, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so that's how it motivates me, because I'm not going to take that pill. You know, and I think that's a failure. I take one pill from the VA, and I'm not going to take that other pill, and then go to another pill, and then go to another pill.
Right.
I saw with my own eyes, brother, a prescription to a veteran, and it said suicide was a side effect. Why would a doctor do that to somebody?
Right. I've seen that, sure.
Yeah, why would you do that to somebody? A combat vet?
Yeah.
You're going to give him that? Chances are he's drinking? Come on, man.
Right.
22 a day, but it's not our fault?
Right. And you're not supposed to mix alcohol, so it's not their fault. Right? That's how they get away with that.
Right.
They're also looking at somebody's maybe donating a van to 22 Too Many. And one of the biggest issues, me personally, that I've had in the past was transportation to and from the VA. I mean, granted, you know, they have satellite locations here and there, but if you're not registered with the initial VA, like have a primary health care provider, you're not going to get the help you need. And with the vehicle that's going to be donated to 22 Too Many, we're going to be hooking up a lot of the local veterans and getting you where you need to be.
Yeah, getting them some rides. Good deal.
Yeah, you ask any organization around here, if you had a wish list for your 501c3, what would you ask for? And they're all going to tell you, even Lacey Hub, transportation to American Lake.
Yeah.
Because if a veteran has an appointment right now, he has to take the bus system. And so now you're putting a veteran on a bus for like 2 to 3 hours just to get there. He has to go to his appointment and then wait for the next bus and then go like through that again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try and, you know, shorten that up.
That veteran could have just gotten back from, you know, his last deployment days ago, and maybe the public transportation isn't exactly what makes him feel comfortable. Maybe it's being surrounded by vets, and maybe that's why he chose 22 Too Many as well, because it's veterans, you know, it's people we trust.
Yeah. So we're going to try and start a regular route. So that's our one of our missions that we're fighting for right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Alice Pack program. We want to have preloaded Alice packs, like a dozen, right? Toiletries, fresh pair of socks, underwear. This week we could have gave out 3 to 3 homeless veterans and sent them on their way with, you know, and they'll have that forever, and then keep filling it for him when he comes back. That's another program that we're looking to start. But back to the whiteboard veterans.
Yeah.
They stay on there until whatever they came to us with is fixed. And I'm hoping that, like Shane came in, every time a veteran comes, we get like excited because we know what we can do for a veteran, right? And so sometimes they stay and they'll let us help them, and sometimes we'll never see them again. And that really stresses me out because I'm worried about that veteran, you know. We have a veteran from Louisiana that came in last week. He's homeless. He came out here for a job, lost his lady, and he's living on the streets right now. And when he came to us, he hadn't eaten, so that was the first thing we did. We sent him off to get something to eat, and then he hung out with us all day and had some, you know, brothers, you know, to talk to all day long. And he's up on the board right now, and I see him around town every once in a while. So that now he knows where there's a warm place for him to go. To hang out, talk
provide
to
them
some
a
other
launching
veterans.
pad so they can.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
You know, whatever the VA's doing is it's not working. And at the rate of 22 a day, we need more organizations. Back in the day, people would call me and say, Patrick, I saw an organization that was called 22 Too Many, but it was just spelt different. And I was like, I don't care. I don't care if they spell it exactly the same way. Just help veterans, man.
Right.
Do your
Just
thing.
get it out there.
Yeah, just don't, you know, get started. Do something. That whatever's is what they're doing is not working, you know.
So are you considered a nonprofit?
Yeah, 501c3.
501c3.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm excited to, you know, hopefully do something with you because just like you said, shooting is a therapeutic for a lot of veterans. And every time that we've gone as 22 Too Many to a gun range, we've had just an incredible time. So
Awesome.
We're going to be approaching the range downtown because it's so close to our headquarters and see if we can work out some kind of a deal. I don't know if you know any of those guys down there, but we'll be putting a proposal together for them. Hopefully we can get a deal. So when a veteran comes, we could just, it's like 3 blocks away. We could walk right over and do some shooting. And the fight that we're in, I'd really like to tell you about real quick is the work that we're doing at the government level. A lot of people don't know this. You know, the American Legion just came out in support of descheduling cannabis from 2 to 3. I think it might have been 3 or 2. I can't remember right now. But just for the fact that they came out publicly to say that was huge. It's the largest veteran organization out there. So when I went back to DC the last time, me and Mike Crouch, which is my mentor, he works for Veterans for Medical Cannabis Access out of Virginia. And him and I teamed up, and we, sorry. I gotta take a second.
Yeah, by all means. There's a chair right behind you too if you want to sit down for a second.
No, it's all right. I get panic attacks. I have PTSD, so I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
So we went to the United Nations together fighting for access, right? That's the work that we're doing at the government level. People don't know that for it to get descheduled, which American Legion was supporting, the treaties have to change. And that's another thing we're working on. In March, I'm going to Vienna to work on the treaties with this gentleman, Mike Crowitz. That's a precursor to another trip back to Vienna 6 months later. But what we're working on is the treaties right now. So once the treaties change, they have their outline or their basic understanding of how they operate is old. You know, it's outdated.
Yeah.
And so they need to change that. Once that happens, then we can have a serious conversation about descheduling it. You know, it sits next to heroin on class 1 narcotic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cocaine is 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just silly. I think it makes us as a country look silly having cocaine as 2, for crying out loud,
Right.
and cannabis, which is, we all know, has never taken a human life in the history of the world, is a class 1 narcotic. It's pretty crazy.